and welcome to Janet being Janet. Guess what? It's almost feeding time, so I have them all around me. Yay! So much fun. Look. Yep. Say hey, baby. Say hey to the camera. He's like, yeah, well, I know what time it is, woman. I know what time it is. I don't need you to tell me what time it's getting to be. But anyways, I wanted to talk to y'all today about Miss Katie Joy and her being, have you ever heard the saying, a day late, a dollar short? You ever heard that? Well, just a little bit of, her wanting to cause a little bit more drama or whatever you want to call it. So if y'all are interested, stick around for me. So, without a crystal ball, decided she was going to go ahead and go back to something that happened back in 2019 that involves the Duggars. But we're going to go ahead and read along with her, and yeah, y'all just stick with me. There's one of my babies back there. You might not ought to go to birthday parties, family dinners, church activities, these things that might risk violating this condition. Do you understand? Okay, so let's read what she has to caption this. Y'all see my wheelbarrow right back there? Yeah, they knocked it over. They do that quite a bit. Alrighty, so without a crystal ball, reached out to the U.S. Attorney General regarding Josh Duggar attending a wedding where minor children were present. A copy of the photo and a link to the video was provided in our inquiry. We asked the office if Josh Duggar was allowed to attend by the court even though minors were present, and they had no comment. Without a crystal ball found the transcripts from his bond hearing where the judge specifically told him to avoid any events that could lead to a violation. All right, the court. The next condition is one I feel the strongest about. You can have unlimited contact with your children, so long as their mother is present. However, you're to have no contact with any other minor child, including your minor siblings, nieces, nephews, children of friends, people getting piano lessons. Are we clear? The defendant then says, yes, Your Honor. The court. This is not a condition, but it's a recommendation. I recommend that you govern your actions by thinking about where you might go and who you might encounter. You might not ought to go to birthday parties, family dinners, church activities, these things that might risk violating this condition. Do you understand? The defendant, yes, Your Honor. When the judge asked the U.S. attorneys if they had any objections to Josh Duggar having access to his children, they said this. Dustin Roberts, okay, we would be glad to provide the court more information about law enforcement's attempts to have those kids forensically examined. However, unlimited court contact does give the government some pause or concern respectfully. The court. Violating any of these foregoing conditions of release may result in immediate issue of a warrant for your arrest and a revocation of your release, an order of detention, a forfeiture of bond, prosecution for contempt of court, and violation alone could result in additional imprisonment, a fine, or both. Josh Duggar agreed to all these terms, and we know he was not supposed to go to any event where children were present. Sojo Files reports he had permission by the probation office, though I can't see in her stories where she got this information from his PO. I reached out to the court today for clarification. So she's reaching out. I'm sorry, guys. I have y'all just streaming off into la la land. But, so she had to reach out to the Attorney General on this, right? So someone comments, can he still get contempt of court since it's obvious he violated his conditions? Without a crystal ball says, I spoke to a source at the courthouse, not connected to this case. I showed them the photo. They were shocked the PO signed off on this. They didn't know if they did or not, but said this being approved wouldn't be a standard. I spoke to a PO that works in another state who told me this is not something they would ever approve because of the liability. Okay, so someone says, so if the judge does get wind of this before sentencing, can this have an impact? Without a crystal ball says, yep. Someone says, I am confused. Is there a difference between condition and recommendation? Without a Crystal Ball says no. It's a recommendation he not attend. The condition is no contact with minor children. So then she goes on to post, the U.S. Attorney's Office has no comment on Josh Duggar's attendance. So, she had to reach out about that. So someone said, what will happen if he didn't get the okay to attend? He just acts like the law doesn't apply to him. Sick pervert. Geez. Someone says 1,000%, then you have, someone saying thank you for clearing that up. Without a Crystal Ball says, I know that's what she said, but she provided no proof, only a scribbled out email. The U.S. attorney told me no comment. So I'm trying to figure out who she spoke to since no one is talking. Imagine that. Nobody is talking to Without a Crystal Ball. Just imagine that. Imagine that. So, all right, now that we've read through that, where, she had to reach out to the Attorney General. She wanted to make sure that everybody understood there was no comment. Here's the funny thing to me, and here's what's getting me. All right, now everything in this video is my opinion and my opinion alone. Hey, baby, what are you doing? What are you doing? But okay, so she wants to do as much as she can for Josh Duggar. Now, Katie Joy is a journalist, reporter. All this in quotation marks, of course, as always, all of this in quotation marks. She likes to call herself certain things. Well, don't you think she would have noticed this back in November when this happened? Because I do believe that's when it happened. The actual wedding was in November. So wouldn't she have noticed this? But here's where the kicker comes in, guys, okay? So she's going to cause this big uproar. She's going to make these posts on Instagram, Facebook, and wherever else she wants to make these posts. She's going to do her own little thing, which is perfectly fine. I ain't saying nothing about it. She can post what she wants to post. 100% she can post what she wants to post. But here's the kicker, and here's the funny part, okay? So, Duggar Snark actually shared a video about this before Katie Joy did. It was by about 2 days. So, Katie Joy does her video on the shocking attendance at the weddings days before trial exposed. How did this happen? She does this video on February 16th. All right? And so she's, gonna make a big deal out of this, right? She's trying to make it a big deal and trying to make people get involved with it and stuff like that, right? She's trying to do what Katie Joy does best. So that's what she's trying to do. Trying to do what Katie Joy does best. We're gonna leave him to it. He's got his post. He's happy. But, she wants to try to get Josh in as much trouble as Josh can get into, right? Right. That makes sense. That makes about sense. Like I said, this is all my opinion. I'm just rattling off at the mouth. But here's the thing. So, Duggar Snark goes ahead and posts that there's a video done on it. And then Katie Joy does a video on it. But now, the video was actually, the one that was linked from Duggar Snark, was actually by Tough Topic, and it was on February 14th, okay? So it was the actual exclusive. Josh Duggar seen around 2 minors months before conviction. So when I was going through this and I was reading Katie Joy's whole little spiel about, her posting what the defendant said and the recommendation and all that. So I'm reading all this and I'm just laughing. I'm just absolutely laughing. And people may be asking me, Jana, why are you laughing? Well, let me tell you, I laugh about a lot Katie Joy does, okay? Be honest with you, I laugh about a lot. Because that's how I get through things. I laugh at them. Because some of it you just can't take serious. You can't take serious. Alrighty. So I'm laughing about all this because I'm going, Katie Joy, she prides herself on getting the information out there. She prides herself on being able to tell people what's going on in Duggar land. And, she's got all these sources and she's got all this going on and she's got all that going on, and everybody needs to run to Katie Joy. Everybody needs to run to Katie Joy. Yep. Everybody needs to run to Katie Joy. If you want any Duggar information, you got to run to Katie Joy. Now, that's what she wants you to think. Now, there are other channels out there, like, she posted on their Sojo files. Now, Katie Joy, obviously, my opinion, gets information from them. She really does. But Here's what's so funny to me. If this happened back in November and you had to wait for Duggar Snark to actually post it for you to want to be causing any kind of uproar whatsoever at all about this happening, I'm just like, oh my goodness gracious. You have got to be kidding me. Seriously, you got to be kidding me. Yeah, you know, the number one go-to Duggar content. That's where you gotta go. Gotta go to number one person for Duggar content. Okay, so it didn't even go upon her little eyesight whenever it came down to it that, hey, Josh was around minors back then. Nope. Didn't even cross her mind whatsoever at all. Somebody else had to make a video of it. Then it had to be posted on Duggar Snark. Then Katie Joy had to get her, hands on the whole thing. She had to get her hands in it and the hands in the mix. Katie Joy had to start making all these posts and saying, "Oh, I'm gonna contact the Attorney General. I'm gonna be the one to contact everybody. I'm gonna be the one to do this." And she posted it to her people. And I'm just sitting here laughing. How people take her serious, sometimes I don't know. I mean, I don't know how some people take her serious. Because if she had an inside source or if she was fully paying attention to the situation, don't you think this would have came to her attention back in, I could be wrong. I could be 100% wrong, but don't you think this would come to her attention back in November? And don't you think? Don't you think? I think it was November, but wouldn't you think that would come to her attention back then? Isn't she the one that was on top of all the Josh Duggar content? Right. She was the one covering all the case and everything that Josh was doing. She was just all about it. She's always talking about the Duggars, and she's just always all about it. And she's always about all this stuff that the Duggars do. She wants to talk about Jessa. She wants to talk about Ginger. She wants to talk about this and that. Well, something that could have been a problem back in November, she didn't even know about. She didn't post about it. She didn't do anything about it whatsoever at all. She waited until it came to somebody else's attention for her to actually point it out. Like I said, there was 2 days difference in whenever and they posted it. So what does that tell y'all? Honestly, I mean, come on now, guys. Let's think just a little bit. Do you think that she's got an inside source anymore to tell her things? Do you think that she kind of uses other websites to get her information now? Is that possible, you think? I think that might just be possible. I think it might be possible. And so, me just following along with this, I just laugh. I do. I just laugh because I'm just sitting there going, number one Duggar reporter, journalist, whatever she wants to call herself this week. I don't really care, to be honest with you. I don't care whatsoever at all. But I'm just laughing about it because obviously she wasn't on top of that one, now was she? She really wasn't. But we're going to make Instagram posts and we're going to get it out there that, we got to reach out and we got to do what's right now, all these months later, now it's time to do something. Guys, y'all seriously, y'all just got to, you just sometimes just got to smile. And like I tell everybody, smile or make somebody else smile, because it can change a lot. It really can. I get on here and I just laugh about Katie Joy and some of the antics she pulls and some of the things that she does. I just laugh about it. I really do. I just laugh about it and I have fun because, sometimes things like this happen where she's not on top of it. She wasn't on the ball with all this now, was she? No, she wasn't on the ball. Nope. There's been many Instagram lives and things like that in between here and then and here, then and now, whatever you want to call it. There's been plenty of Instagram lives. There's been plenty of posts. There's been plenty of a lot of things. Not that. That had to be posted by somebody else, then posted by Katie Joy. So welcome to the world of Without a Crystal Ball and how she does her reporting and how she gets things wrong sometimes, right sometimes. I guess you really got to depend on where she's getting her information from. A source, a news article, another website, wherever she's going to get her information from. It's just depending upon that. But guys, I hope that it's getting feeding time. It's almost feeding time. And you know, they're out in the pond. They're everywhere now because I ain't doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And if y'all follow me very long, y'all know I don't do the things I'm supposed to do sometimes. I get a little bit sidetracked. Yeah, that happens. But I hope that y'all have a wonderful day, night, weekend, holiday, year, whenever you might be watching this. And I hope you do smile today. Or I hope that you make somebody else smile, because it really can make a difference. It can. If I got on here pouting and whining and moaning, then now you got to think that would just be one of them things where it would just be a sad video. But smiling and laughing and sharing my smile with you, then it just creates something completely different. Alrighty, guys. I do sincerely hope that y'all have a good one. Bye.